What's that? Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Scores! He did it again!
I just killed him. Before the game, I just killed John Madden because of a stink bomb.
Split special teamers, and now Brown is off to the races. Hurdles, kicks him in.
Giants are coming off a worse week than Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, that was the most exciting thing to happen tonight.
Game's over. Game is finally fucking be over.
Ed, you got to turn your mic on. I think. His hand on the button.
And now, our feature program.
Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back.
What's up, man? I am so... My laptop is acting foolish right now, like right when you went live.
Of course it is.
It's... I can see you, and I can hear you. That's all that matters, I suppose.
That's all that matters. Do you have the dock open, or did you lose the dock too?
The dock is on here. I can see the corner of it.
Of course it is.
We're on the screen.
If it's not Chris's internet, it's always something, right?
Absolutely. So how y'all been? We haven't done this, I think, since before the week before Thanksgiving, actually, because I noticed the update on this. The last time I updated it was 11/17.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a few weeks.
Yeah, we had a good Thanksgiving. It was long. No, I did all the cooking, so it was a good long day.
Yeah, I ordered pizza. It was fine.
You didn't go and get tacos?
Your mom cooked? Is that you said? Was your mom down with? Oh, that's right. You went to go see your.
Yeah, we went up there and my mom cooked.
Ah. My mom comes here because she doesn't cook. She don't cook no more. She cooked long enough, according to her.
And Travis, I understand you're quite the chef when it comes to turkey dinners and things.
Oh, yeah. I spend probably about 3 days cooking and whatnot when it comes all down to it. Because you got to pre-do the stuffing and then put in the fridge so it cools down so that when you stuff the bird, it's cold. And
oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, if you do like because I do a pork mushroom stuffing kind of thing. Mm-hmm. We don't put any of the crazy nuts in it.
I don't put nuts in my stuffing.
Some people do, and it just makes it taste awful.
I don't nut my stuffing.
There's not enough stuffing in the world.
I don't nut my stuffing. No, did Nate tell you that I am coming up there for New Year's Eve?
No, he did not.
Yes.
This morning.
Oh, did he? Yeah. So I will be there the day before New Year's Eve, I think. And of course, for the game on the 1st. I'm going for the game.
Ah.
But I'm going to be there an extra week because he said I need to be there an extra week so we can get everybody to come down to his house and have a little bonfire.
That'd be cool. So you're stealing? So are you kidnapping Chris on the way up?
I want to, but Chris ain't gonna make it because he has this thing called responsibilities.
Well, in that, and I have my son up until New Year's, so.
Well, bring him along. He's never seen Massachusetts. He'll see. Maybe we'll even have snow.
He's from Wisconsin. He's seen snow.
They have different snow out there. Hell, they probably already have snow, right? Was he part of that Buffalo snow blizzard?
Mm-mm.
They didn't get any of that kind of snow?
I don't think so. He's like right on the line, Illinois and Wisconsin. So.
So he gets rare snow.
Yeah. My niece is up there in South Dakota, and they got plenty of snow already.
Yeah. South Dakota is awesome for that. I always wanted to make it out west to go snowboarding.
I know. I'm sitting there in Florida, and I'm sure Chris is probably very similar. 75 degrees, wearing short. It's December the 8th.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
No, well, it's been unreasonably warm up here. It's been in the 50s and raining almost like every week. And I'm like, if it's going to be cold most days, I want it to snow so at least it looks cold outside. Because when it's sunny out and there's no snow, I'm like, oh, it's probably warm out. Nope. That's the days that it's 30 degrees out. But then the next day it pours and it's 55.
Yes.
And I'm like, and they wonder why us New Englanders get sick all the time.
I don't know why anybody lives there.
I'm stuck here.
Air conditioning, nobody would live down here either. So
I'm stuck here for another few years. I have no choice. Then I can get out. Then I can run away. Get out of Massachusetts.
doing the Heisman out of the state.
See ya.
Heisman way out of this bad boy.
Well, speaking of Heisman, we got a bunch of college stuff going on, huh?
Yeah.
You wanna take care of it, Chris, or you think you want to defer it to Smitty and then just chime in?
We can go back and forth.
All right. So who wants to start this off? Chris sounds like he wants to. While he's still feeling good.
Because I know you want to talk about this. It's official. The 12-team playoff is going to start in the 2024-25 season.
Yes.
So we have one more year of the 4. So the 23-24 season. Next year will be the last season for the 4-team. And then we'll go into the 12-team playoff.
And that means we get to start talking about the top 15 teams in college.
Yeah.
Because that'll be a fight for that 12th spot, the number 11 and 12 spots.
Yes, and that's the thing. It's like it's going to bring a lot of otherwise not having a lot of publicity to teams that otherwise really wouldn't have that kind of national publicity when you talk about Team 13 and Team 14. And 12 is great, but I think as much as I watch college, there's usually a pretty big drop-off between Team 6 and Team 7, and there's a huge drop-off between like Team 9 and Team 12. This year is the exception. And
so
maybe it's going to be that
rankings right now. So 13 is Florida State, 14 is Oregon State, and 15 is Oregon. So those would be your first 3 out. If we were to go into a 12-team playoff based off this, however, with the 12-team, it's, I believe, the Power 5 and one of the group of 6 automatic bids for the conference champions.
That's my understanding, too. And then, like, at large, isn't it?
It's at large. It's going to be the highest ranked teams.
Right.
So if you have something where, a Utah who's at 8, they'd still be in probably, right? But the rankings may look different or because of that. I don't know how that's going to work.
I think that's
going to be similar to a lot of this right now. Like we'll just say, for instance, the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry going on. The winner gets their bid. The other team isn't going to be the winner, but they're going to be in the championship because they probably going to have been ranked number 3 at the end of the year anyhow. So they're going to be
a one-loss non-conference champion, kind of like a TCU is a one-loss non-conference champion. But
right.
So so top 10 teams: Georgia, Michigan, TCU. Ohio State snuck in there because their only loss is to Michigan. Alabama's at 5, Tennessee's at 6, Utah is at 7, USC is at 8. They dropped from 4. Oh, excuse me.
How did USC drop that far? That's what put Ohio State back into the playoffs, right?
Well, yeah, because USC lost.
They got smoked by so they're a 2-loss team, and the loss is the same team. Utah beat them twice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Utah put a whooping on them.
They
It was great. I loved it.
Yeah, and that's why Utah jumped all the way up to 7 from if they're up 5, so they were at what, 12?
Yes.
So, and it's funny because in the post-game press conference, the Coach Whittingham from Utah actually said, "Hey, Coach Day, you're welcome," because that's what put us in.
And also, I'll let you finish your top 10. Where you're at, Utah?
Yeah.
USC.
Utah at 7. USC had dropped to 8. Penn State, it somehow dropped to 9. But that's probably just because Utah and some other team in Utah moved up. Clemson stayed at 10.
Yeah. What I was going to say was after the TCU game, because TCU lost their championship game, or they lost their last game, whatever it was.
They lost to Kansas State.
And the Kansas State coach on the field right after the game said how good TCU was and hoped that they still got a chance to play for the national championship because they deserve that shot. He said that right on the field right after he beat TCU.
Oh, wow. And I called it because when we were on the cruise and I saw that TCU had lost and stuff. I was like, and they lost in overtime. So it was they got shellacked. That's why USC dropped. They got shellacked.
Yeah.
And people are arguing about the Ohio State, staying at 4 or 5, or staying at 5 when they lost to Michigan because we got beat pretty bad, right?
Yeah.
But
well, it was like It was like the Ohio just forgot they were playing football that day.
Yeah, pretty much the defense. Well, that and the off. Our defensive coordinator was playing cover zero the whole time and with zero safety help, and they just kept exploiting it, and he didn't adjust. So, but they did say they're like it was an 8-point game going into the fourth quarter, and the Ohio State just let it get away from them in the fourth quarter. So it's not like they saw that Ohio State's a good team and just didn't show up that day apparently. But
it was like the coach forgot that he had how to coach football.
Yeah,
you can't stick in cover zero if they're beating you. You got to do something.
At least the top.
So. But I think it's good. I think this is when, after that Saturday's games, I was like, okay, it should be Georgia, Michigan, TCU, and Ohio State. I had a lot of people saying TCU should drop out of the top 4. And I had some people say, well, no, Alabama should be above Ohio State. I was like, I'm not sure where you get that from. Why would Alabama jump over Ohio State if neither one played? It's like they both get to move up. But at TCU, like you said, it was an overtime game, and there was no reason to drop them out of the top 4. It's a good top 4.
I completely agree with them staying at 3 because they would have stayed at 3 if they would have won that game. Mm-hmm. And, to say that they're not one of the top 4 teams in the country, would be kind of ludicrous, honestly. Mm-hmm. It's yet to be proven. I mean, Big 12, it's TCU, so we'll see. But, yeah.
Well, after I watched I'm not going to talk about the team up north or nothing, but after I watched that game with Ohio State, I'm wondering if the team up north might be the best team in the.
I had a bunch of people message me and say something. I'm like, look, I'm not going to argue with you saying that they're the best team because as of right now, I still think Georgia's the best team in the country.
I do too.
I think Michigan's damn close. I think Michigan, and depending on what Ohio State team shows up in this game against Georgia, we'll see what happens. I mean, I disagree with the fact that it's a neutral site game, right?
Oh, it's not.
45 minutes from freaking Atlanta where they're playing. This is the 3rd time that Georgia's played in Atlanta this year. So, but, it's a neutral site game.
I guess it is a neutral site, I suppose. It's not their home. It's kind of like when, if like right now, the Vegas Raiders are playing in L.A.
Yeah.
Right? Don't think that's an away game for the Vegas Raiders.
No.
It's not. It's not an away game at all.
So, yeah. I mean, it is what it is. We'll see. Depending on what Ohio State team shows up, it'll either be another shit show or it's going to be an actual game. So we'll see.
I think Ohio State's going to be like, nah, not again. Not on my watch.
I'm hoping it'd be really cool to see Ohio State, Michigan for a national title.
That would actually be interesting.
Yeah,
you get to play the team up north twice.
If that happens, though, Ohio State's got to win that game because I cannot deal with a year of hearing about that shit.
So they either have to win out, or they have to lose in the first round. That's what I'm hearing.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's
final game.
I mean, I know this is fair, but I would have figured the bowl committee would have made it to where Michigan and Ohio State would have to play each other in the very first playoff game. That way, there's not 2 Big Ten teams in the championship game.
They didn't want to do it again, because of the fact that we already played them once.
Yeah,
they'd rather be kind of like the Georgia Alabama thing. Like they'd rather be for a national title than it to be just a random game.
Yeah.
So. Hey Travis, is Chris's camera flickering off and on to you, or is it just me?
Just you. He's been pretty solid on my end.
I just make sure the YouTube video isn't messing up. Okay.
Nah, he's been solid on my end. He looks good on the YouTubes.
He always looks good.
It'll be interesting to see how they do, because next year I would guess is that they're going to try and figure out rankings more so that way they're ready for the first year of the 12-team playoffs. So it'll be interesting to see how they rank them next year compared to how they rank them currently. Because the way they're ranked now, it's like, yeah, I can see where they're at. But I don't know, maybe now because they're going to expand the 12 teams, there's been a lot more players willing to go to different teams now. instead of them all wanting to go to like Alabama or Georgia or Ohio. Now they've kind of these AAA ranked players are top, or what are they normally called coming out of high school?
Blue chip players, blue chips.
No,
yeah, well, you're talking your 3 and 4 stars. Yeah,
4 and 5 star players coming out of high school. Now you got them going all the way out to Colorado, even because now that Deion Sanders is the new head coach out there.
Yeah, I didn't think about the fact that that's going to make some schools more advantageous to players.
So I was gonna touch on this a little later, but we'll touch on it now. So there's over 1,000 players currently in the NCAA transfer portal.
Yep.
Holy fudge!
Yeah, there's 1,000 players. All right, like I mean, they're going all over the place. And I've read several articles about like how this player is considering this school. Well, yeah, because the schools already, the schools and the boosters and shit have already reached out to him saying, hey, if you come here, I've got this NIL package waiting for you. Mm-hmm. Basically saying, leave your school, come here, and I'll pay you a shit ton of money. Which I think it's good for the player. It's bad for the sport.
It's what we knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
The minute we were told that these players are going to be able to make money from like boosters and stuff like that, we knew that this was going to happen, where players weren't going to sign where they were most likely to get the best coach and possibly win. They were going to sign to schools where they're going to make the most amount of money.
Yep.
Because the odds of making the NFL are still slim to none.
But, like if I'm a college kid and I'm, hey, I can go make, over my, 4 years of college playing on this mediocre ass team, I can make $8 million. Cool. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to go invest half of it into Amazon. I'm going to be set up for my life. Right. But yeah. And then, with the Deion Sanders thing, right. Good hire. I think he's a good coach. However, I disagree with, all these press conferences you keep seeing with like his team meeting with the players. Why the hell is the press in there?
No idea.
Because it's Deion Sanders. He wanted the press there.
He wants the press there. He wants the attention. It's about him, right?
Oh, it's always been about him.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, he put a bunch of money into Jackson State. Cool. A bunch of his own money.
Yep.
I can expect that, right? But don't go into your, like, if you're going to go into your locker room and tell your players, hey, go ahead and jump in the transfer portal because I'm bringing people with me. Like, if I'm going to look at you and go, fuck off, dude. Like, I don't want to play for you. Like, if you're basically telling me I've seen you play, you're not good enough to play on this team, well, then screw off. I'm going to walk. But,
yeah, I know he got his stuff stolen from him. Did you hear that?
Was that?
He got what?
Somebody broke into his
office and stole
his stuff.
Oh, yeah. Really?
He's mad about that.
Oh, yeah.
So
players going to be running.
My opinion.
What else is going on?
Changes. So, we have the coaching carousel all year long, right?
Yep.
So Matt Rule, former Baylor coach, rebuilt the Baylor program before he went to North Carolina, went to Raleigh to go be the Carolina Panthers coach. He will be the new head coach at Nebraska. So I say in about 3 years, I think Nebraska could actually be a contender in the Big Ten West.
Yeah, there will be some people that will go there just because he's the coach.
Yep.
That's for sure.
And he's bringing. I haven't looked fully into who he's brought on staff, but he's going to be bringing in some people. I guarantee it. We talked about Deion Sanders going to Colorado.
Well, the thing I forgot is that Christian Fournier. I don't know if you remember when he played for the Patriots, and he also played for the Washington Redskins. He's played for a bunch of different teams over his time in his career. His son is actually a Colorado Buffalo. So it should be interesting to see if his son stays and plays for Deion, considering Deion played against his dad.
Well, Cade McNown, his son is the quarterback for Colorado. He entered the transfer portal because they were like in the press conference with the players, they're like, "Where's Sheed at?" It's Deion's son. He's like, "That's your quarterback."
Yeah.
Well, shit, I'm transferring because you just told me I'm not gonna play.
Right.
So I don't blame him.
No.
But
I don't know. I think he'll be fine there. I just don't think he'll have the same success as he did at Jackson. I mean, come on. He was undefeated 1 year with them.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be as quick. But here's the thing: when you're playing in the SWAC, yes, he brought in a couple 4- and 5-star players. Mm-hmm. In the SWAC, that makes a difference. When you have those 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5-star players, now you're playing in the Pac-12, right?
Now you're playing against teams that have
player.
Yeah,
so,
you ain't lying.
So, and then Trent Dilfer, former NFL quarterback, you all know who he is, took the head coaching job at University of Alabama, Birmingham, UAB.
Right down the road from me.
That's like 4 hours from me.
Yeah, it's right down the road from. Yeah, well, okay.
Yeah. Well, you got to remember, Smitty's old. If it's within 12 hours, it's down the road from him.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
I can drive it.
Understand now. Mark Stoops was extended at Kentucky.
Makes sense.
Luke Fickell takes over at Wisco. So this is a big one. He left Cincinnati and is now the head coach at Wisconsin. That is huge.
Fickell's Einhorn.
I saw that. I did. I didn't write that one down though, because he made Cincinnati a good team. He turned that program around. Mm-hmm. Wisconsin isn't a bad team. I mean, they have. This can be interesting. I didn't even think about it.
And he knows how to coach at the Big Ten level because so in the 2004, 5 to 2000, I think 10, right before Urban Meyer, I think 2010. Mm-hmm. He was our defensive coordinator when our defense was good. So, yeah. Do we know anything about his contract? Because I don't know. Me personally, I don't think I'd move from Cincinnati. It's like 8 years. Yeah, he's got
to live in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the school's at. Is the school in Green Bay? Is it in
Madison?
Okay. Yeah, that's a cold place to be.
Yeah. And then Ohio State, after the season, he's going to continue to be our OC. Kevin Wilson is going to be the head coach at Tulsa. So I'm assuming they're going to promote Brian Hartline to our offensive coordinator. Who's
Brian Hartline is one of your coaches?
Yeah, he's our wide receivers coach and
really
coordinator. Yeah,
did not know that's where Brian Hartline went. He was one of my favorite receivers of all time. I love that man.
And guess where he went to college?
Ohio State.
Don't have to guess.
That's why we have.
That was my question for you when it came to question time.
So
that's excellent. So Tulsa, that's in Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just tell me. I just have a question for you all. If you're the offensive coordinator for a program like Ohio State,
yep,
which is one of the bigger programs in the country,
yeah,
and you have an opportunity to be the head coach at Tulsa, which is one of the smaller programs in the country, or move over to be the offensive coordinator to a bigger I can't think of a bigger program actually.
Oh well, the Patriots could use a real offensive coordinator.
What do you make that? Because if this was it's a bad analogy or bad question because Ohio State's like they're equally as big as Michigan, as Alabama, as
comparable. USC. Like think of it like I understand what you're saying. Like so, think of it like the head coach of Louisville right now, Scott Satterfield, right? He is going to become Cincinnati's head coach. Kind of a lateral, going from the ACC to the AAC, but kind of a lateral thing. But he's kind of,
Then again, as we've seen in the NFL, sometimes going for offensive coordinator head coach in a big program can be bad. Mm-hmm. So maybe he's figuring at least if I start off at a small school, get my feet wet, get used to changing my way of thinking from being an offensive coordinator to being a head coach, it might be a good step because then, like at first year, they don't expect him to do very well. So if he stumbles and falls, it's not a huge ordeal. But if he does well, then they're going to be like, oh, wow.
I would agree with you, just not in this situation.
Okay.
Oh, Chris froze.
Chris froze.
Oh,
Chris froze. They say Chris Rose. Like, who's Chris Rose? He head coach for Alabama Tech.
Prior to coming.
So Chris froze. You agree with me, but
no, he was the head coach for. But prior to becoming the OC at Ohio State, he was the head coach at Indiana.
Oh, I did not know that.
Okay,
I would agree with you 95% of the time, just not in this particular situation.
That's what I'm saying. If you're the head coach of Indiana and somebody has a chance to give you OC coach at Ohio State or a transfer lateral to a different head coach. I guess that's a bad example. You know what I'm trying to say. The point is, you move up. You got to move up.
Talks about money and it's opportunity too, because like he wasn't doing he did okay. He was a mid-tier Big Ten team, but he was kind of on his way out. Like you could tell that they were kind of getting fed up with him. Like he just wasn't doing enough. So that's probably why he came over to Ohio State, because he's like, hey, I'm a really good offensive coordinator. Let's go do this for a while. Now he's got a smaller program that he can run and do what he wants to do. So
yeah.
We all kind of, last week's, which was now a couple weeks ago, Georgia smoked LSU 50-30 in the SEC championship. TCU lost 28-31 in the Big 12 championship in overtime. 47-24, Utah beat USC.
Wow.
Clemson.
Oh, and that was my my upset pick, by the way.
That was
my upset pick was the Kansas State
shellacking.
TCU game.
Clemson beat UNC in the ACC championship 39-10. Coastal Carolina beat Troy.
No, other way around.
All right, Troy beat Coastal Carolina for the Sun Belt Championship 45-26. And this week's games to watch.
There's one.
Yeah, Grandpa Thin versus Cousin Oliver, or as he put me earlier, Cuck in the corner. Army versus Navy, and I'm going Navy by 7.
Yeah, it's a good pick because I put Grandpa Thin because I had to mix me and Nate's names together. So
right.
I figured someone would figure it out, but I didn't know if you were going to be here or not, Chris. So it was going to be me and Travis. So I had to put down Army, Navy in parentheses in case they didn't.
I knew that it was I was going to message you guys, be like, all right, so what time is Chris and Nate? Is Chris facing Nate and Smitty?
I do not feel good as the Army representative here in this game. I am.
Army always has a rough time with Navy, if I remember correctly, right?
Oh, recently, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Cousin Oliver on this one, and I'm taking Navy and the points.
And the points.
Smitty,
am I putting your money where your mouth is?
Yes, I'm telling you right now, this game's over by halftime. It's not.
So you're saying I should take what, $10 of your dollars that you sent up and go put it on Navy?
Right ahead. Go right ahead. I will be. And if I lose it, I'll reimburse the $10 to bet on the regular games. I will send you that money before we get off tonight.
When is the Army Navy game? What is it, on Saturday?
Friday, I think.
Friday. Oh, jeez. No, it's got to be a primetime game.
So you're saying it's not a primetime game?
Not primetime.
It is at 3:00 on CBS.
On Saturday or tomorrow?
On Saturday, December 10th.
Okay, good.
I lied. I was wrong.
So that way I can watch it.
Yep.
Or at least have it on in the background.
As all the bowl games listed.
It was copy paste, baby, copy paste. Then I adjusted a little bit with the text so it didn't fill up 17 pages.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like you did a pretty good job like formatting it and everything.
Yeah, it was pretty. So what we're gonna do is each week we'll go through that week's games, but I'm gonna touch on a couple just overall that I think are going to be good games, just in case anybody wants to try to tune into them. So the first one that I'm like, this one might be okay. And this is just because, mostly because of Nate. Friday, December 23rd, the Independence Bowl. Houston takes on Louisiana and the Raging Cajuns.
The Raging Cajuns! And I do believe the Raging Cajuns will win that. Yeah. I don't know why I believe that, but I do.
I don't, but... So Wednesday, December 28th, in the Holiday Bowl, 15 Oregon versus North Carolina. I think North Carolina could give them a game. I really do.
Mm.
And the thing is, when I first copied and pasted this, it had where each game was, what time, and what station. I deleted all that stuff because there's a lot of information. And I didn't think we needed all that in there. And I'm wondering if out next week I'll go back for that week and put those information back in. The thing is, the Holiday Bowl, where is it?
No idea.
See, I don't either.
My question is, why is the Military Bowl? Why does the Military Bowl not have a single military school in it? It's Duke versus UCF.
Yeah.
Well, things changed. The Orange Bowl used to be the winner of the ACC.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Sugar Bowl used to be the winner of the SEC. So,
but now it's everybody gets a bowl.
Right.
So Friday, December 30th, number 6 Tennessee versus number 7 Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
And the great, what game that is, though, right? It's the Orange Bowl. and it's two orange teams.
It's also the Who's Your Daddy Bowl, and the answer to that question is South Carolina because South Carolina smoked both of them.
Yep.
Oh, I thought we were going with Joe Burrow over Patrick Mahomes.
Well, that too, but so also on December 30th, the Gator Bowl, number 19 South Carolina versus 21 Notre Dame. This is intriguing just because of what South Carolina has done to Clemson and Tennessee.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
And that one's played in Florida. I do know that.
And then obviously December 31st, your first playoff game is going to be number 2 Michigan versus number 3 TCU. I believe that's like a 3 o'clock. No, I don't know what time that game is. And then number 1 Georgia versus my Buckeyes at the Peach Bowl there in Atlanta.
That's gonna be a tough road, though.
Sometime that day, number 5 Alabama versus number 9 K-State, who beat TCU. I think that's going to be a pretty decent game.
I do too. I think Alabama has lost its mojo or whatever. I think they haven't been the same team since their quarterback got injured. They're still good, but I think there's
something's not right.
Yeah. Even when they're winning their games, they don't seem as impressive as they did.
And then Monday, January the 2nd, we've got number 10 USC versus 16 Tulane. I think that could be.
Tulane is 16. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they won their conference.
The Cotton Picking Bowl.
Okay, I'll put money on USC on that one, and I hate USC.
And then in the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl game, number 8 Utah versus number 11 Penn State. I think that's a good game.
This is going to be a good game.
Was the original bowl games really just the Rose Bowl and the Orange Bowl, if I remember?
Sugar Bowl, Rose Bowl, Orange Bowl,
Cotton Bowl.
Cotton Bowl. Those were the 4 main ones.
Yep.
Then Fiesta Bowl popped its head in there.
Yeah, that used to be the national championship game.
Yeah.
So.
And then, the national championship game will be Monday, January 9th.
But like you said, the Rose Bowl is the granddaddy of them all, though. That's the...
that's
the weekend is the 7th and 8th of January. So I'm really hoping that Ohio State beats Georgia because there's so many Georgia fans. But when I'm up there, like, giving my spiel for, muster on drill weekend, I'm going to be like, so I just want to make sure everybody's okay, right? Like, all Georgia fans, right?
You need to talk to somebody.
I'm not going to hide in my office and tell the skipper, like, no, I'm not going out there. Nope.
We have.
They know I'm an Ohio State fan.
We have grief counselors if you need them.
That is all I have for college, gentlemen.
I love.
A lot of that, Smitty.
Well, of course, but Chris, next year we're just gonna do our own show. We'll do the college and we're gonna do a pro one. We're gonna separate them. We won't need you for that, Travis. You can go out and do anything.
I'm getting more and more. I'm starting to watch. I've watched more college games in the last 2 years than I have in the previous. Let's see, I'm 38 now. So 36 years.
I'm 38 now. Okay.
Well, I get every once in a while I'll be like, oh, I'm 39. Gail's like, no, you're not. Because she's only a year younger than me. She's like, no, because then you age me a whole year older.
Absolutely.
All right. So you said you had some stupid stats. Let's do a couple of those.
I did. And this is turning more into Nate's brain buster, whatever it is, than think tank than it is stupid stats. But in honor of Ohio State, I have a Ohio State question.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Ohio State has been to the championships, the new ones, since they've had not back in the AP in the 90s, but since they had the CPF and then whatever. They've gone 6 times. They lost 1 of the 6 times they went. What year did they lose? Now remember, it's only going to be from like 19. Not 19. It's going to be from 2012 till now, I believe, is the.
I'm going to go with 2016.
They lost in the national championship game?
Apparently. That's what I'm looking at right now. They went to... sorry, not national championship game. Wait. Yes. Is this what I'm looking at?
It was the only year they went and they
Big
lost.
Ten championship game. Sorry,
Oh.
Big Ten. Big Ten championship game. They went 6 times and lost 1.
I'm gonna stick with my 2016.
And obviously, the Big Ten wasn't like it was until 2012 or whatever. So,
I believe it was 2016.
it was, according to this, 2013.
Ah.
They won in 14, 17, 18, 19, and 20.
I can remember
question.
Big Ten titles.
Well,
Chris, we don't count those. We only count national championships.
Much.
Ohio State has been to the Big Ten championship 6 times. What other Big Ten team has been to the Big Ten championship 6 times?
That team up north.
Negative. Wisconsin.
Chris, you're correct. It is Wisconsin.
Well, they're technically north of Ohio still.
I can't argue that. That's about as good as it gets. Okay. Now, get away from Ohio State a little bit here. What was the last team to win the national championship with 2 losses?
Oh. Boston College.
Alabama.
Alabama. I was going to give you some more hints.
Was it Alabama?
There's actually, this was in 2007.
Okay, so it wasn't Boston College.
Or 2007, and 3 other teams had the same many losses, but this team happened to be the AP one. So technically 3 teams kind of split this, but this was the AP champion. So
I'm going to go with Georgia.
And you staying with Alabama, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It was LSU.
Really?
Yes.
I just looked it up. Like I looked it up, but I didn't look at the screen, and I scrolled
fair.
down. And it says LSU. So I was like, wait a minute, AP. I was like, because I thought a 2-loss Alabama won this college football playoff, but I was wrong.
But there was the AP thing, yeah. So, okay, maybe 2, maybe 3 more questions. Okay, in case you all did not know, because I did not know this, Princeton has the most championships as far as college football goes, because they won their first one in 1869. What was Princeton's record in 1869?
2-0.
What was Princeton's record?
They won the national championship that year.
8-1-1.
Surprisingly, Chris is pretty close, but not quite. 1-1. I have no idea. Maybe there's only 3 teams playing: Rutgers, Princeton, and Yale, maybe. But they were 1-1, and they won the national championship. Matter of fact,
how does that work?
I don't know, but in 1870, they were 1-0 and won it. 72, they were 1-0 and won it. No one played. The winner didn't win more than 6 games until 10 years after the national championship started. So Princeton doesn't really count. Okay.
Princeton never really counted in football.
No. Okay, and then we'll get a couple of more. You'll like this one. Where'd it go? Which team has a record for the longest winning streak in history of college football?
Winning streak?
Yes.
No, that was basketball. No, that was football. I'm gonna go with what the hell school was that? His assistant was was arrested for diddling.
That was Penn State, wasn't it?
Yeah, Penn State. Was that college or was that basketball? Was that football or basketball?
That was football.
That was football.
caught diddling, yes.
So I'm gonna go with Penn State.
We'll go Michigan.
Well, you're closer there, Chris, but it's Oklahoma. Boomer Sooners. Boomer Sooners. Okay. And to even this out for this question, because we have the record of the longest winning streak in the history of college football. What team has the longest losing streak in the history of college football? This is where you really got to. You go ahead and pull up the college names who have football teams, because it's a name you'll know. It's not like It's not
an unknown name.
Pennsylvania, California. It's not like that.
It's not like Holy Cross College up here.
You name that one. It's not going to be like Central Massachusetts of Florida. It's not gonna...
University of Massachusetts. That's who I'm going with.
University of Massachusetts. I love it.
Yeah.
How about you, Joe?
Yeah, UMass is pretty bad. So yeah, I'll go with them too. Really?
No, right, but it's great. Northwestern.
Really?
Yeah, they were horrible for years.
There's how many? Because
I don't know. It just
UMass has had a bad football team for God knows how long.
Well, it's probably like sometime like 1909 to like 1950 or something.
Probably
something like that. Well, those are my stupid Smitty stats.
All right. So let's talk a little bit of football, because there's some funny stuff, there's some interesting stuff, and there's some very bad stuff. So the Washington Commies, over Thanksgiving they became 7-5. Well, last week they were 7-5, going into this previous week's games. After this previous week, they're now 7-5-1. But since Tyler Heineke has been under center, they've gone 6-1-1 now. Even though Carson Wentz has technically been healthy to play, they've deemed healthy enough to play. The team and head coach has decided to stick with Taylor Heineke, and he seems to bring something out in these players, because these guys just want to play for him. Mm-hmm. And watching him play it's incredible, because this guy was a backup in the XFL. I don't know what he was like in college, but this guy just wills these guys to win. It seems like.
Didn't he play for the Patriots?
He ended up on the practice squad of the Pats for a little while.
Okay.
When he first came out of college, but then he went to a couple of different teams, didn't do anything. Went to the XFL, was a backup in the XFL, and then when the XFL disbanded, Washington called him up after a little while and said, "Hey, we need a guy on our practice squad." And he said, "Well, I need to make money. I like to play football, so." And next thing you know, he's now been there 3 years, and they keep trying to put him as a backup. And the starting player gets hurt, and he's now the starting quarterback. And
give the man a little bit of money and keep him there until you can draft a high-level quarterback to sit behind him for a year, and then boom.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. It's like this guy, he's on a hot streak, and the coach is doing the right thing by saying he's our guy. That's the way I feel about it. It's almost like what.
Is there a question in our future, attorney?
I was just wondering if you guys would do the same thing.
Yeah,
because I know I would.
Go hand. I mean, Carson Wentz hasn't shown anything in his entire NFL career to tell me that he can do anything but get hurt. So I'm going to go with Heineke.
It just goes to show you that when they played the Eagles, played the Patriots, and they beat them. That wasn't. I mean, yeah, that was a great game that was a great year by the Eagles. But that wasn't the quarterbacks. That was some scheming that was good, playing all the way around. Carson, I don't think, is the guy. And I've always liked Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor.
I love his last name.
Heineke. I'm not really sure what it is, because it's like, it depends on which reporter you listen to is how it sounds.
I want to go and get a beverage from a foreign country when I hear his last name. That's what I want to do. I want to pop a top from I don't care where, Ireland or Russia, whoever, and watching him play, because I watched the Commanders play.
Yeah.
And they are not going to go away, I don't think. And this weekend is going to be a test for both teams. And so you absolutely, like Chris said, like you said, you stay with the hot hand. You keep him in there, and even if he loses, I still keep him in there. He's not sitting the bench the rest of the year.
No. I don't know. It's something special about this guy because, like, even Gale, like, it's like we don't watch Washington play, but it's like when you hear Taylor is playing, you're like, okay, now I kind of want to watch it because it's going to be a game. He's going to make sure this is a game.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, with anybody coming into this past weekend, we would have said, hey, the Giants are the better team.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened is that now the Giants have a tie on their freaking record, and it's the first time since I think it was 2012 that the NFC East had winning records, and two NFC East teams that faced each other tied to each other, and it just happened to be Washington and the Giants that did it back in 2012. I think it was.
This has happened before that recently?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't think that having a winning record all of them this far into the season happened that often. But
that was, I think, also the year that the Eagles were fairly high into the playoffs, if I remember correctly. Or was it the Cowboys? I think
12. I don't know because 12 was the year the Patriots for the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, it was the first year. No, that was the second time around.
No,
that was the second time around.
2001 was the first year.
Yeah, something like that. But other things that happened with Washington. So now Dan Snyder, the Washington's owner, and the NFL is under fire from Congress, all because of the NFL's handling of the investigation into the sexual misconduct that Washington did. Is this like a big deal or no big deal that Washington is finally getting involved with it?
Okay, I'll go first. I know we touched on this before. I think it's obviously a big deal when you got the United States government getting in your business. But somebody to get in the business. I mean, I don't know Dan Schneider, but for some reason I don't think I like him. I don't think he should be the owner. But all the same, I mean, I don't know. I'm a little hesitant because of the way my political beliefs are about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think you should, no matter how much money you have, I don't think you should have power over other people in your organization to do with what you want. If you sexually harass them, if you sexually assault them, then you should definitely be going to jail and things of that sort. I don't know what was mishandled, except I think they told the commissioner. The commissioner told them to tell me about it first or something.
So what was? So I don't know if either one of you know, but I have looked into it because of course I listen to sports all day long. The NFL commissioner gave Dan Schneider the review of the investigation and let him decide what was going to be released to the public, kind of thing.
Okay, then that's crap. They need to take it over. Maybe not Congress themselves, because I think Congress has other things to do, but an independent organization. Schneider needs to be fined for that, and so does the commissioner. Maybe the commissioner needs to be stepped down from his job. I'm not sure who the new commissioner would be. I'm pretty sure you'd be a good commissioner. Maybe Chris, maybe Jeremy. Don't make me a commissioner because I'd make all the teams move to Florida.
Jeremy's probably the most knowledgeable of us all about football, though. That's scary. What do you think, Chris? This is a big deal or no big deal that Congress is finally going to get to it?
That was to you, Chris.
I mean, like, it's weird because the NFL is like a private company. It's not, federally based or anything like that. However, it is very mainstream. It is very, like, these people are supposed to be role models for kids and stuff like that. So if it's not
state lines.
Yeah, exactly. And, so all these different things that kind of, it makes it a muddy situation.
Well, the NFL is considered a non-profit, so technically they are governed by they have to abide by the government ruling on it, because they could, if they lose their non-profit status, which they shouldn't be non-profit to begin with, or I think they finally became non-profit, but I'm not really
But
positive.
yeah, it's a muddy situation. Like, I think, if the problem is you have these multi-million billionaires, they're in charge of these things that can pay anybody off and all this thing. So, maybe it takes the government to get involved. I don't know.
No, Jeremy's here.
Oh, what do you know?
Oh, cool. That means I can jump off then, right?
No,
actually, Jeremy, I want you to after Chris finish weighing.
College anyway, so
after Chris finish weighing, I'm going to ask you this question. All right, Chris.
So Chris, you can only jump off if you go do my work that I have to finish up still.
All right, Chris. So finish your thought.
I might, but
all right, finish your thought before you get too sick, Chris.
That was his thought.
Oh, that was his complete thought?
Yeah, that was my complete thought.
Okay. So, Jeremy, it was announced today that Congress was going to go after Dan Schneider and the NFL because of the handling of the investigation into the sexual misconduct. Do you think this is a big deal or no big deal?
No, it wasn't. They're not looking into it. They've found that it happened. So they're going to pursue legal actions against the NFL and the Washington football team.
So you think this is a big deal or no big deal?
Yeah, I think it's going to force him to sell the team, or it will end up forcing him to sell the team and maybe even force the NFL to replace the commissioner.
Ooh.
That's what I was saying. He needs to get replaced.
I think
Smitty's announcing you for commissioner,
Jeremy, to be the new commissioner.
Why would I want to do that?
You got paid a lot of money to go to NFL games for a while.
True.
Go free to any game you want to.
Mm-hmm. And they put you in a luxury box every time.
You probably get free in the college football games too, and you probably can get any college football player you want on your team.
How much do you guys think it would cost us to buy the Washington Redskins?
More than we'd ever make in our lifetime.
Chris is not feeling good. He jumped off. Either that or his internet died.
Well, so the rumors was he was going to sell a portion of the team for like $4 billion.
$4 billion?
Yes.
All because they're winning right now?
B as in billion.
Do you think we can mortgage that?
I'm going to say no.
Do we have like 4 million friends that we get to donate $100 to us?
No.
All right. So I think it's a no big deal because Congress takes forever to do anything. And by the time they get around to actually doing something about this, it'll be like 2030. Dan Schneider will have been dead for a couple of years.
Dan Snyder's not that old.
Yeah, but he'll magically just disappear. And they'll deem him dead, kind of thing. You know how
he rolled up on the island with what's his name?
Yeah, he'll just magically disappear, and we all know how that goes. They deem him dead after a while, and then his wife gets everything.
I'll marry him.
She's an old Betty. You'd like her.
Hey, for millions and millions of dollars, there's not nobody I wouldn't marry.
All right, so here's the last thing I had that I wanted to talk about. So Baker Mayfield has gone from the heartthrob of the Browns to a backup at the Panthers, and now he's the only hope for the Rams to keep them from going from hero to zero. He's playing tonight too, and it doesn't look like he's helping them at all. Do you think this is actually going to help the Rams, or are they just trying anything to stay afloat?
I don't. I think the Rams are already zero.
I think the Rams are just using him as a, hey, let's see if he's possibly a option for next year, because the rumors that
Sorry.
I keep hearing rumors that Stafford's injury, it could be career ending.
Oh.
And if he doesn't have the surgery, he could live life normal and have a normal life. But if he has the surgery, it could not be that way.
He should just retire. He got the Super Bowl ring. He got his money. He got his family. He got everything. Let it go.
Well, the problem is the NFL things aren't guaranteed. He doesn't have a guaranteed contract, does he? At all.
He's made enough money.
Yeah.
And his wife wants him to retire. I mean, he is, what, 34, 36, something like that?
36, yeah.
He's younger than I am. I wish I could retire.
Exactly.
I hear an echo going on.
It's just that with the Rams, I don't know what happened with the Rams this year, but it's it's not Baker Mayfield's fault, but somehow they spin it to make it his fault if he doesn't win at least half the games that are left. And there's no reason that team should be losing. There's no reason that team should be losing. Not like.
But he's been with that team all of what?
Tuesday night he showed up.
Yeah, I was gonna say 3 days.
Right. So
no, technically 2 days. 2 days tonight.
I think, I don't know, Baker Mayfield, he was so, like you said, he was everything when it came to the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
He had these commercials and stuff, and it was boom, 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 and now it's like, well, you're nobody. Get off my TV screen.
Yeah.
Like, it's not fair to
He
him.
went from making sure that everything was locked up over at the Brown Stadium to now that he's just a nobody. Him and his wife went from doing thousands of commercials a year, which were funny, to commercials just trying to stay afloat. All right, so Smitty, do you want to
leave it alone, Jeremy? Leave it alone, Jeremy. Leave it alone, Jeremy. What are you doing?
I was just searching to see where my teams are.
All right, Smitty, do we want to go through our highly classified rankings?
Yes. What has happened was the council got together, or whatever I called ourselves, and we voted on the top teams in the NFL over the last 3 weeks because it's been 3 weeks since we did this.
Smitty, I think after the first person submitted theirs, everyone else just copied the top 8 and then modified the last 2.
So you're going to be surprised here because what had happened is this. That's that. That want this. I want no color, and boom. Okay. 4 teams that got votes that were not rated last time we did this with the Bears, the Titans, that didn't make the top 10. Bears, Titans, Commanders, and the Giants. The Giants had 2 points, but that wasn't enough to break the top 10. And the NV on the right here was wasn't on this list before. The Commanders finally made the list. You can thank Nate for that one.
I had the commies on there.
Or maybe it was you that had the commies on there.
Yeah, I had.
I don't know. They couldn't beat the Giants.
Tying the Giants was pretty good.
No, it wasn't.
And then we have number 10 tied with the Bucks and the Jets.
Oh, how the Jets have fallen.
Yeah, they have.
I don't even have the Jets on this list.
We did this 4 weeks ago, so we've missed a lot of up and down. But the Bucks wasn't on this list at all last time we did this.
No.
Nope.
So,
I didn't have the Bucks in the top 10.
I had them sneaking to 10.
Yeah.
So you know who voted for it then. Okay, then 9, we have the Seahawks at 6 points. Last time we did this was tied for number 8. The 49ers at 8, the Dolphins at 7, the Vikings at 6, the Bengals at 5. And you see the big jump between the Dolphins and the Vikings at 19 points to 23 points. And you can see the rankings that they were before. Bengals weren't even on this list last time we did this. No. They're number 5 now.
They all of a sudden showed that they could play football again.
What do you mean? Last time we did this, I had them voted in, they just didn't rank.
Yeah, they were in the unranked above the 10.
Yeah, not ranked. Yeah, in Army's not ranked, and in V, there was no votes for the Commanders last time we did this.
Yeah.
In V, there's no votes. Not ranked means they were on the list, but they weren't ranked. You're right. You're absolutely right about that. And so I appreciate people who kept my Dolphins above the 49ers after they got beat. I do appreciate that. I did not.
So the only reason I kept the Dolphins above the 49ers is because they now are playing with a third-string quarterback.
You realize Jimmy G threw 4 passes that game?
Yeah, but
and they still beat the Dolphins that handily.
But the Jets also went out with a rookie QB and shellacked the team, and then the next week he just got them. He barely was able to pull anything like points off.
That's not a rookie. That's his second year.
But to be fair about the Dolphins and 49ers game, it was still close to the last 6 minutes of that game. That last interception kind of ruined it all.
Yeah.
Fumble recovery. So it was a tight game. But yeah, there's only 1 point separating those two teams according to us. So this is good. And of course, you know who number 4 is. You already know who number 4 is. Don't even pretend you don't. It's the Chiefs. They were number 1 last time we did this. Mm-hmm. Can you believe it's the Chiefs? No?
I can believe that Chiefs are 4.
Well, Cowboys are 3.
That's surprising. It makes sense, but
that was a big move. They were at 7 the last time we did this.
And the Bills are 2, and that leaves the Eagles at 1. And there you go. The Eagles almost have a perfect score. They have a 9.4. They have 47 points out of a possible 50. So somebody, not sure who,
Smitty,
decided that they are not the best team in the NFL. I'm pretty sure whoever thought they were number 3, because I'm pretty sure that's that person, put Cowboys at number 1. I don't know.
I don't know. The Eagles playing it'll be interesting to see in this week's game because they're playing a divisional game again. So it should be interesting to see what happens this week with them.
Well, the Eagles are just they're a complete team, and they're not hurt. They're not injured anyway. I mean, they got a defense that's solid, they got an offense solid, they got a good quarterback, they got good receivers, they got good line, they got good special teams. They are what you're supposed to be, and they are very fortunate for not being injured. And that's the thing about all these other teams. The Cowboys have been injured through the year. The Bills have been very badly injured. The Bengals finally getting back. The Chiefs haven't really been that injured. The Vikings just, I don't know about them. Dolphins, 49ers, Seahawks, all injury prone.
Yep.
But the Niners run their third quarterback already.
Yeah, so, they should. The Eagles, which is why the Eagles aren't going to win the Super Bowl, because they're going to start getting injuries around week 15 and week 18, and the playoff games are going to get too injured to play.
You realize I think it is week 15 this week, isn't it?
Yes.
I think so.
We're on week 14. We're on week 14.
I thought this was the start of week 15.
No, this is week 14, then 15. So, we're on week 14.
So that is the power rankings for the Thick and Thin podcast power rankings, sportscast, excuse me. The very secretive letters were sent out and numbers were put down, and they were brought back in, sealed envelopes.
Yeah.
Put together by blind midgets and inside a comment. And then
right.
midgets, that's probably a derogatory statement nowadays. I do apologize.
So because I forgot all about this, we are going to just go over who's playing who this week in Fantasy League. So this week we have the number 1 Ladies and Elements playing the number 4 Bunch of Nobodies.
Come on, Bunch of Nobodies, beat that Element.
She's been streaking recently.
Yeah, she has. Number 2, the Purple Cobras. Yes, I dropped out of the top 3. Oh, top 2.
That's because the Purple Cobras beat my butt.
Is playing number 8, Isn't It Breakfast?
Go Purple
Breakfast.
Cobra. No, I want Breakfast to win that one.
I'm now at number 3 playing Lieutenant Dan's Magic Legs.
So that's a buy for you. Okay, got it.
So far, it looks like it might be. Then we have number 5, the Dolphins playing number 6, 2 Girlies, 1 Cup.
I hate you, 2 Girlies, 1 Cup. Can you just not do your round? Can you just leave them out? And when they're injured, just leave them out. Stop playing players.
Do you realize my benches on all my fantasy leagues are just questionable out? Questionable out. Bye week. It's like, I'm literally just pulling whoever I can. I've had to drop players that are questionable just to put other players in, hoping they do something this past week.
And at number 7, the implication is playing number 10, the Muppets, who has put her bid in for the Sacco. She wants to know if she gets a nameplate or if she just had Smitty's sack hanging in our living room.
I think she has to get, if it's like the belt, you got to get your own nameplate made.
Well, all he's done is kept, there's no names yet on the Sacco, so from 2 years ago, where it was, there's no names on it, so he hasn't put any names on it yet.
Yes. All right, so that's our fantasy. Jeremy.
I have not looked at bets yet.
All right, so,
we can talk through it then.
We can talk through it then. I can also update what your record is. So let's find some bets.
Okay, so the Jets are 10-point underdogs against the Bills. That scares me. That could go either way very quickly.
Playing in Buffalo, or are they going to move it to Detroit again?
That's the question.
It's not supposed to blizzard, so I think they'll be okay.
I think that Buffalo was the darlings of the NFL this year, and because they have Miami playing them after Miami had 2 road trips in whatever, and then Buffalo got 3 home games in a row in the middle of winter. What playing teams that and Buffalo gets more time off than Miami did, because you know what?
No, they played in Detroit between those games, or in Minnesota, one of those.
It was I'm talking about. Okay, there was this last week.
We lost Smitty.
Did we lose Smitty too? All right, well, talk through your bets.
Well, so the Eagles are favored. Oh, he's back. I see him moving again.
Apparently, I was lying my ass off, and the internet said stop lying, Jason. So
Yeah, they had 2 home games in a row.
right. Well, no, I mean
they
went to Minnesota, but this week they are home, and next week they are home, and the week after that they are home.
They have 5 home games in a row then?
No, 5 out of 6. I have 5 out of 6 games.
Oh.
I think I might be crazy, but go ahead.
That's crazy. Okay, so the Eagles are road favors by 7 over the Giants.
I would take that. I would take Eagles 7 over the because yes, I would take that.
Okay, Jess, write that one down.
Eagles
-7 over the Giants.
Yes, I would take that in the points because
you wanna know one I do like? The Bengals -5.5 over the Browns.
5.5. Yes,
with
Watson's
being
back.
rusty. Yes, but he's rusty as could be.
He is, but and
I mean,
he looked like crap this past weekend.
He was garbage against the Texans, which is a dumpster
and the Bengals
fire.
are getting and Bengals are getting healthy.
Yep, Jamar Chase is back a few weeks now.
I think you're right, Jeremy.
Oh, Lions -2.5 over the Vikings in Detroit.
This is crazy. I don't even know. I'm afraid of that one.
I am completely afraid of that one, but I like the fact they're favored. The Lions are favored in Detroit over Minnesota.
Well, their offense is unbelievable now. I mean, if they would have got a little hotter a little sooner, won like 1 or 2 games.
And Minnesota's defense is garbage.
Yeah, considering the Pats put up 28 points on them.
Okay, this one scares me. The Texans +17.5 in Dallas.
If it was 12.
That game is locked out for me right now. It just has a lock.
I would take it, but 17.5. It was 17. I might take it. It was 17. I don't like
17.5.
That is such disrespect. And this is gonna be the trap game. Cowboys, I think, are the best team in the NFL. I really mean that. Well, they were the Eagles, 1 and 2. And Texans are like the worst team I've seen in probably 5 years.
I mean, they rival the 0-16 Lions.
Yes. So, and they have like no direction. And
17.5 points is a lot of points, though.
But
this is where the Cowboys are going to lose, just because there's no reason. This is this kind of chaotic chaos or whatever we're having this year.
It's that Texas rivalry too. They always get they always amp up for each other.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Cowboys lose. I would be very surprised if Cowboys lose, actually. But I'm not giving 17.5 points.
No way. Okay.
No.
Titans -4 at home over the Jags.
The Titans did not impress me this last game, and the Jags did.
The Titans don't score many points. That's what scares me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you stop King Henry and
hey, a delusional Detroit fan. Lions number 1.
What's that?
We have a delusional Detroit Lions fan.
Oh, do we?
Yes.
Hi, Detroit Lions fan.
Then the Steelers are 2-point favorites at home over the Ravens, which I like that one because the Ravens haven't been putting up points, and now with their backup quarterback in,
and their defense have never been that great, and Pittsburgh's defense is
so
better.
Pittsburgh -2 over the Ravens.
Yeah. So Pittsburgh
like that. Oh, I would not mind whatsoever Ravens losing. Every time the Ravens lose like that, it's better for my Dolphins to make the playoffs. Same with your team.
Yeah,
make the playoffs. So
the Ravens have just decided they don't want to play football anymore, and Lamar Jackson's out, so it's going to be their backup.
Yeah.
So, and if I was Lamar Jackson, I'm not coming back until you gave me you ain't got me a contract yet.
Well, the only reason he doesn't have a contract because he wants it fully guaranteed, like Watson's was.
Yeah, he figures
some team somewhere is going to give him a fully guaranteed contract. So
the issue is that they can keep franchising him.
They could.
But he's gonna make, if they franchise him, he's gonna make a lot of money for being franchise tag now.
Yeah, but he's gonna make less than he would off a big contract. Because guess what? 2 years under the tag, he might not be healthy enough to play after that.
Right.
True.
The question is if he quits, can he come back in 2 weeks and go where he wants to?
No, he cannot. They still own his. They still own his rights. No, Gronk had to be traded still.
Yeah, Gronk got traded.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Chiefs are 9.5 favorites on the road in Denver. I don't like that in that division. Those teams always play each other tough, especially that Denver's defense.
I'd pick that before I pick the Dallas one. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's obvious. Okay.
I would love to see Denver finally come alive on that game. I would love to see that.
Yes, Seahawks -4.5 at home over the Panthers. I like that one.
I do. I think the Seahawks will handle them.
So write that one down. Seahawks 4.5 over Panthers.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh. Bucks are underdogs going to San Fran by 3.5.
Yes, they are.
And that's because of the defense of the San Francisco.
Yeah.
But you saw what the Bucks did in the last 2.5 freaking, and I was like, yeah, it's happening. It's gonna happen. They're gonna beat the Saints, and they shouldn't. It happens every time, and I think it's scripted because there's no way the man does it every time. Doesn't matter the team. How does he become magic? It's not even logically possible. You know what? Shut up, Jason.
It's the issue is the other team falls apart. I mean, you saw Ingram ran out of bounds a few yards short of the first down because he wanted to make sure he didn't get hurt.
But they fall apart every time. What the fudge, dude?
It's the fear of what is he going to do to us.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't
doing crap for 3.5. You know what? We're not talking about that right now.
Plus, when's the last?
Brady's
Brady's only lost one rookie QB ever.
I don't know. I still would not touch that one.
No, I'm not touching it. No.
The Dolphins -3 at the Chargers.
I feel comfortable with that because I know the Dolphins lost, but if you watch the NFL 22,
yeah,
Tua lost the game for us. There's no doubt.
Yeah, Tua was way off.
He was either overthrowing or underthrowing everybody.
But I don't think it's going to be a problem this time. And the receivers were wide open the whole game. The Dolphins were in there to the last that last sack fumble for a touchdown. Then it kind of lost the thing. If Tua would have hit like he usually does 70% of his passes instead of the 50%, the Dolphins win that game.
Yep.
So I'm okay with the Dolphin pick, but if you don't want to do the Dolphin pick, I completely understand. I will not hold you against that.
Well, the only other one is the Patriots -2 over Arizona, which I don't like that game at all.
I don't like that game. Jesus, it's tough.
Yeah, no. If anything, I would take the Cardinals in that game.
This week's games are not nice for.
So, do we want to go with the Dolphins too, or no?
How many do we have on the list?
We have 3 so far: Eagles, Pittsburgh, and Seahawks.
I mean, we didn't bet last week, so yeah, let's throw a fourth one in there. Let's take the Dolphins -3 over the Chargers.
All right.
I mean, I can't believe I'm actually saying that because I don't like betting on my team because I'm,
Hell, one week we double bet them in one, so.
I'm the lonesome loser, so.
Over Chargers. All right.
The Dolphins need this game before they go to Buffalo.
Yeah, they do need to win this game. So if they lose this game before going to Buffalo, it's going to be a bad day for them.
It is because they're probably going to lose the Buffalo game, which makes them 8-6. They probably still make the playoffs, but
Jerry, I just went through all our bets.
The Patriots in Patland, and that's not a place you want to go.
Picks against the spreads, we are 16, 17, and 3. So we are now less than 500.
That's as good as professional.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So I was listening to something on satellite radio, and they said this year the professionals are doing like 48, 47%.
Wow.
With how this year's going, because there's
no rhyme or reason to it.
No, there isn't. It's crazy.
Because so technically,
you should just get out there. We need to get your name out there, Jeremy. Saying the pick'em guru, and just say boom, and you're doing as good as the professionals. You just say, hey, $5, I give you all my picks, and I'm telling you.
Oh, last week I did pretty good on picks, I think.
Yeah.
You didn't make any picks. Oh, your actual picks. So yeah, let's do some weekly picks.
Let's do it.
So we've done weekly picks. The problem is we haven't been on. So let's see. The week before Thanksgiving, the winner of the week was. Why is that not showing Smitty's?
I was gonna say
because I lost all of them.
Was Nate and Gail actually? No, Jeremy. Jeremy was the winner the week before Thanksgiving. He had 11 wins, and then Nate and Gail followed him up with 10. Me And Smitty and you and me and Mo were at 9, and Chris followed up at 8.
And Amanda brought up the rear at 1.
Yeah, it seems like she only picks Thursday nights.
Yeah, you just need to drop her. Hey, wait, what?
So this was Thanksgiving. I couldn't find your picks, Jeremy.
I messaged them there.
Yeah, I couldn't find your Thursday picks, so if you can find them, I will add them real quick. But I couldn't find them. I couldn't find Smitty's either, for some reason.
Really? We both made picks there.
Yeah, I kind of figured, but I couldn't find them, so I was just like, 'cause I didn't fill these in when I got them.
I know I picked the Patriots, so I lost that one.
We're down on thick and thin, I'm sure, right?
Maybe I couldn't. Yeah. I scrolled back, and I couldn't, unless we just had messages.
Oh, we probably done the Muppet Show because of the fact that.
Yeah, we had them. Some people sometimes we message.
No, right here. I got Bills, Cowboys, Pats. Smitty had Bills, Cowboys, Vikings.
Bills, Cowboys, Vikings. So that makes Smitty the winner of Thanksgiving. So I couldn't find Nate.
I got us covered here.
I couldn't find Nate and Kristen. I know didn't vote. Smitty, you got 11 Thanksgiving weekend, and then
no, Chris did said my picks are the same as Smitty right after Smitty said it.
Oh, so that means I'll add him then. For Thanksgiving or all of them?
For Thanksgiving.
Okay, so I didn't have the rest of them. Unless you can find the one for Sunday. I don't think Nate gave me any picks either. Did Nate give me picks for Thanksgiving?
Not on the thick and the...
Are you sure you even looked, Travis? You weren't too busy cooking? I mean, we understand you were
cooking. I was busy cooking that day. But I couldn't remember who made picks and who didn't, so I went back.
Nate usually makes them on the Muppet Show one.
Yeah, I tried to find them today, and I couldn't find them.
Give me a second. Let me see if I can find. Right.
So as of right now, we had Smitty winning with 11, and then me, Gail, and Mo following up with 10. Jeremy, you were at 9.
Okay, hold on. I got Nate's picks.
All right.
I'm trying to look to see if he had Thanksgiving games in here too. Hold on. He went Lions, Vikings, Cowboys.
Cowboys, Vikings. Okay. Then what does he have after that? Miami, Texans.
Hold on. Let me get to the other list. The thing is, the Thursday was so far before.
Yeah.
Miami played the Texans?
Yep.
That's right. We did.
Yeah, they beat them 30-15 that day.
Okay, so which game?
It would be Miami, Texans.
Miami.
Bengals, Titans.
Bengals.
Broncos, Panthers. Did he not pick that game? He's not
Panthers. No, it's just he did it on that little website. So I'm trying to.
Yeah. Anytime he does that, I just count that as he didn't make any picks. Bears, Jets. I hate it when he does that. So it's not.
Jets.
It's not even worth me trying to figure it out.
It's a pain because you have to look for the emblems and whatnot.
Yeah, Falcons, Commanders.
Commanders.
Bucks, Browns.
Bucks.
Really good. Ravens, Jaguars.
You picked the Ravens.
Yeah, I was gonna say nobody picked the Jaguars, and they shellacked them. Didn't shellack them. They ended up winning in the final seconds. Raiders, Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Chargers, Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Anticipation.
Saints, 49ers.
No.
Niners.
Chiefs, Rams.
He picked the Rams, I bet.
Chiefs.
Damn.
Really? Wow. Packers, Eagles.
Oh, he picked the Eagles, not one.
Eagles.
Yeah, the first time he's picked the Packers is this week.
Steelers, Colts.
Last week.
Steelers.
Oh, Smitty. Nate tied with you.
Yeah, it's because he cheated. After the game.
He did it.
The 27th at 8:35 a.m.
And football was played on the 26th.
Well, this past week, Gale was the winner with 9 correct picks.
What are you talking about?
I'm looking at this past week 13.
Yeah, look at mine.
Oh, yeah, crap. Jeremy was the winner with 13 correct, actually. Forgot that that was all
And
green.
you know, the worst part, as soon as I said Chiefs, I'm like, shit, I should have went the Bengals.
Yeah.
Well, it's official. Jeremy picks 1 week out of the year. He wins 13 games and loses 2 because one was a tie.
No, that's called a push.
That's called a push.
That's called a push. Because the Commanders and Giants went into overtime and couldn't score, and both tied at 20. And it was like, watching them walk onto the field was just the most brutal thing ever, because it's like you don't know how to feel.
Well, they both looked like lost. They're like, wait, it's over. What do we do now?
Yeah, they're like, can we play another time around?
Here.
So Buffalo beat
No one was sad. They were just like, what do we do?
Yeah, Buffalo beat the Pats 24-10. The Packers beat the Bears 28-19. The Steelers beat the Falcons 19-16. The Jets lost to Minnesota 27-22. Jacksonville lost to the Detroit Lions 40-14. Tennessee Titans lost to the Eagles 35-10. The Browns beat the Texans 27-14. Commanders and the Giants tied at 20. Denver Broncos lost to the Baltimore Ravens 10-9. The Miami Dolphins lost in San Francisco 33-17. Seattle Seahawks beat the Los Angeles Rams 27-23. The Los Angeles Chargers lost to the Raiders 27-20. Apparently, all it took was for Carr to cry on national television during his interview, and all of a sudden the Raiders have started winning. He should have done that weeks ago.
They still have the outside shot to sneak into that postseason.
They do. So my question is it just taken them this long to finally click and say, okay, now we can make a playoff run?
I think it took them this long to really get the offense synced up.
Well, yeah, because McDaniel's offense is quite crazy compared to what Carr is used to running.
Yeah, it's not the standard. It's not the standard offense. A little more in depth.
It's got too many moving parts for Carr. It took Carr a bit longer to figure out. The Chiefs went to Cincinnati and lost to the Bengals 27-24. The Indianapolis Colts went down to Dallas and lost 54-19. I wanted 6 more points out of them.
The best part, this game was like a 3-point game with like 6.5, 7 minutes to go.
Yes, it was very close.
And then it just went, boom, gone.
And the New Orleans Saints went to Tampa Bay and lost in overtime, if I remember correctly. Nope. Final seconds.
3 seconds left.
3 seconds left.
It was
17-16.
Brady fashion.
Yeah.
The ref tried to help with the holding penalty, put him back 10 yards.
Yeah, after he threw the first touchdown.
Yeah. It was like, hey, we want to make sure that we give them no time on the clock.
Well, I said it was scripted before that was happening. I was like, this is going to happen. He's going to come back by 13 points, down 13 points with 2. Because what happened? They were down by 13 points, and my brother said they're going to punt because New Orleans is going to punt. He goes, well, not New Orleans, but Tampa Bay was going to punt. I can't believe they're going to punt. I said they got 3 timeouts, and the script says he's not allowed to make a 13-point comeback until there's less than 3 minutes left in the game. I said that to my brother. I swear on my mother's grave, I said that to my brother. 3 minutes left in the game.
Well, so there's been only one other time that he's come back down 13 points or more, and the only other time that he's come back and won was Super Bowl.
Really?
Yes.
So when he comes back, he's within one game shot. See,
he's within a touchdown or something like that.
No. So it's the only time he's come back by 13 or more points with under 6 minutes to go with under half the time in the fourth quarter.
That makes more sense.
It's just, he's come back by 7 or 10, but it's never by 13 or more, except for one of the times.
13's a lot of points to come back.
It is
in 3 minutes.
Because technically, it's either 2 scores. Technically, because
And the thing is, it's not even just him. Because, yeah, he does what he does. But all New Orleans has to do is get a first down.
Yep. Smitty, your pick tonight was the Raiders, correct?
Yes, it was.
I think the only person that picked the Rams was Nate.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I thought, too. I just wanted to double check because I didn't have time to
Is
look.
he feeling bad right now? What's the score?
The Raiders are up 13-3, and that's the way it's been since the first quarter, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
But the Raiders are driving. Hopefully, Carr doesn't throw another interception.
Yeah, all I know is that my field goal kicker has gotten more points than my tight end from the Raiders, and I have the kicker for the Raiders right now. All right, so let's make this week's picks. I have to get Chris to text in. All right, so we only have 13 games this week, and one of them is
teams are on a bye.
Yeah, and one game is going on right now, so we only have to make 12 picks this week. The Minnesota Vikings are at the Detroit Lions. It's a 1 o'clock game. I'm going to go with the Vikings. Who are you going to go with, Jeremy?
I'm taking the Lions.
Taking the Lions. Smitty.
Smitty wanted to do that, didn't he?
He doesn't know which Watson he wants to go with.
They're playing in Minnesota?
They're playing in Detroit.
Oh,
they're at Detroit.
I'm gonna be wrong no matter what I say. I keep knocking my shit over. I'm going to. Oh my Lord.
All right, so that sounds like a lion. It's best you can do.
Wait. What I missed here? Someone was asking if Smitty's single.
No way.
On the YouTube thing.
It must be a joke.
So Dude Nation 3. So
I am very single.
Dude Nation's been here a couple of different times.
Dude Nation 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Nation 3, I am very single. But I'm also, it sounds like a male's handle, and I'm very straight, too, so.
It says Smitty is a really handsome man. Is he single?
Yes.
Well, thank you very much, sir, ma'am, whichever one you are.
Are you really gonna complain whether it's a guy or a girl calling you handsome?
Not a little bit. Matter of fact, hit me up. We'll go out and have drinks sometime. I don't give a
Wait, you got to post it on Craigslist Misconnections, though.
Yes. All right, Jeremy. The Baltimore Ravens are at the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Steelers.
Smitty.
Steelers.
We're gonna do the Steelers curtain across the board because I am also going with the Steelers. I don't trust the backup of the Ravens. All right, Smitty, you get to pick the Browns at the Bengals.
The kitty go meow.
I am also going to go with the Kitties. How about you, Jeremy?
I'm taking the Bengals.
All right.
You want to know a funny stat, though? What's his name has never beaten the Browns.
Really?
Yeah, Joe Burrow has never beaten the Browns.
What do you know? So that we could lose a bet right there. No, we're not betting that one. All right. The New York Jets are at the Buffalo Bills. I am going to go with the Bills on this one. I don't think that rookie QB can do it. What about you, Jeremy?
Stop calling him a rookie quarterback. He's not a rookie.
Second-year QB, sorry.
But I'm also taking the Bills.
His name is Joanna Black?
Nope.
What's his name?
Something White.
Yeah, something White.
It's Joe White or something.
Joanna? No, seriously, his name isn't Joanna?
No,
I knew it was White.
It's
not
White.
Joanna? I thought it was Joanna White. Seriously? Okay.
No, it's like Joe White or something.
And he is very white.
Mike
White. Mike White.
Yes.
Mike White.
Wow. Where did I get Joanna White? Who's Joanna White? Is he a basketball player?
Probably.
Okay. Anyways, the Jets versus the Bills?
Yeah.
I hate the Jets.
Yeah.
The Bills. I just go Bills. Go Mafia.
But you need the Bills to lose for your Dolphins.
No, they can still make the playoffs.
No. I will beat the Bills 1-on-1 straight up, and then we will have the tiebreaker and be tied with them anyhow. We're going to win straight out. So that's all that matters. I don't need the Jets' help. They can go to heck. But I'd rather the Jets go than the Patriots, no offense, but they need to stop going to the playoffs again, like for 10 years. So maybe I do want the Jets to win, but I can't pick the Jets. Stop talking. Buffalo.
Yeah, we need the Bills to win and the Pats to win, and then we're back control of that 7 seed.
Yeah. All right, Jeremy. So how much do you think the Dallas Cowboys are going to win by? That's the better question.
I'm going to say 17.
Yes. And
Not
you
the
know what?
half.
If we did take that bet, they'd be winning by 20 or something.
Yeah.
And then the Houston would kick a field goal with like 3 minutes.
It
left.
would do what Miami did to Houston, where they were going to score 60 points on. And they're like, we scored 30. We don't really need to do much anymore.
Yes.
Let's just run our practice offense.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Smitty, who are you going with the Cowboys?
Hey,
yes.
you got more points.
Yeah, what's the points you're going with? So Jerry said 17. What are you going to bet the Cowboys win by?
If I was confident enough in 17 to that, I'd probably take the bet. So I'm going to say, now I want to say 20 points. I'm going to go 20 points. I wouldn't bet 20, but I'm taking 20.
All right, so 20, 20, 17, 20. I'm going to go with 30 points. Dallas Cowboys win by.
You should take some of your own money.
I am. I actually really contemplating it.
I hope you win.
All right, so Smitty.
Yes.
Philadelphia Eagles are at the Giants. It's going to be a huge test for the Giants.
I know they're playing at the Giants, but Philly don't give a damn where they play.
Right.
I'm going Philly.
You know, there's a reason why they've only lost one game. It's because they haven't faced anybody too tough. But the Eagles doesn't seem like who they play. They're going to play stronger than them no matter what.
But didn't they play the Giants already? But Giants didn't have Barkley with them. I don't think.
Yeah, the Giants didn't have Barkley, and he didn't do too much last week.
Doing good.
But where are you going to go, Jeremy?
Fly, Eagle, fly.
Fly, Eagle, fly.
My back was itching in case if I wanted to know what I was doing.
You rolling a joint? Is that what you're saying?
No, so my back was itching. So
I figured you were just dancing.
About dude 1372 say I was a handsome man. So
I figured you're just dancing for him. All right, so the Jacksonville Jaguars are at the Tennessee Titans. I'm gonna go with the Titans on that one. What about you, Jeremy?
So I'm going with the Titans. I need Henry to do something this week.
What about you, Smitty?
Titans and who?
Titans are hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I know.
Basically a home game for them.
The Jags are up and down too often, and the Titans are a solid team. They just lose sometimes. So I'm going Titans also.
Going Titans. All right, Jeremy. Kansas City Chiefs are going to the Denver Broncos.
I'm taking the Chiefs.
Taking the Chiefs.
I want Denver to win that game.
Smitty, where are you going to go?
I might as well put them out of their misery so they have no chance whatsoever to make the playoffs. So let's go with the Chiefs. Chiefs are making the playoffs, so them losing is going to be irrelevant.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Chiefs on that one. He's never had problem playing in that Mile High.
No.
All right, Smitty. Carolina Panthers are at the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
Seahawks for the long trip. I am also going with them. Jeremy.
Sea chickens it is.
Sea chickens across the board.
I think the Sea Chickens are is the NFC's version of the Titans. I don't know why I think that.
Yeah, I can see that. A little bit more mobile quarterback, but yeah. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to San Francisco. This is a tough pick. This is a 4:25 game, so it's not going to be a national televised game.
Mm-hmm.
At least I hope so.
It should be.
Yeah, this is, and it's Jimmy. Well, Jimmy G is not even playing in this game, so.
No, but Purdy was doing fine. I mean,
yeah.
that's that offense is a plug and play. If you can throw a good 7-yard hitch, or just if you can do your reads, that's the thing.
Yeah.
The quarterbacks have to be able to read and make sure they hit that guy's open, that one's closed.
And basically, they have a good run game because they have a really good running back now, and they have 3 good receivers, so it's like really hard to stop them. You can plug any quarterback in there and probably win. Hell, Smitty, you can play quarterback for him and win.
I couldn't throw more than 3 yards though, so
that's you just toss it to McCaffrey. He'll throw it for you.
Yeah, McCaffrey will throw it for you. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Buccaneers. It's really hard not to. Jeremy, where are you gonna go?
Niners.
See how easy it was not to go with the Buccaneers? Jeremy just showed you.
Smitty, who are you going to go with?
The Niners.
Niners. I'll be happy to be the only winner of that one.
I hope you are. No, I don't want the Bucs to go either, so no.
All right, Jeremy. The night game, the Miami Dolphins are at the Los Angeles Chargers.
It was flexed to the night game, too.
It was.
Yes, I'm taking the Dolphins.
The game was Dallas versus Houston. They said no.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing that one.
Smitty.
Oh, I'm going with the Dolphins.
Going with the Dolphins.
Oh, yeah.
This is harder.
I can see what would be hard for you.
No, well, after the Dolphins lost to the Niners, but the Chargers looked awful last week.
Yeah, the Chargers do not like that good.
The Chargers have so much injury at receiver. That's their issue all season.
And they're so hit or miss lately.
Well, that's because it depends how many drives the receivers actually play.
Yeah.
And the Chargers don't have a...
Hey, Smitty, did the Dolphins fly back this week, or did they stay out there?
No, they stayed.
Okay, I'm going to go with the Dolphins.
Yeah, they don't have a defense. The Chargers don't have one. And the 49ers do. That was the difference.
Yes. All right, Smitty. Monday night, for some odd reason, they still have the New England Patriots playing the Arizona Cardinals.
Because they don't flex Monday night games.
They should.
They only flex Sunday night.
This is a Thursday night game written all over it.
I don't like this because is the Patriots going to Arizona?
Yeah.
Yes.
And go Pats. I'm going Pats.
You almost made me spit out my beer.
I know. I mean, I try my best to be logical about things. I don't want the Pats to win, but I think they're going to.
I don't know.
Yeah, neither do I.
Is Kyle Murray back?
I don't have a coin. I used to flip a coin when it came to this. Remember that?
Yeah. Is Kyle Murray back or not? Jeremy?
I didn't know he was out.
I have no idea.
I thought he was injured, so.
No, he's been playing Call of Duty.
Someone got injured. Besides Garoppolo, someone else got injured.
Yeah.
There was a lot of injuries last weekend.
You know, I'm going to go with the Cardinals. I don't trust New England's actually going to score. What about you, Jeremy?
I'm going to take the Patriots. I don't trust Arizona to do anything, especially towards the end of the season.
No, that's when they get bad, and they've been bad all year, so they can
That's
get worse.
true.
They had a few games where they were okay.
They were, but I didn't watch any of them, apparently.
Hey, wait, who's this quarterback that can actually throw a pass?
That would be Mr. Why am I... Mayfield. Mr. Mayfield.
Fields?
No, Mr. Mayfield. Mayfield, not
Yes.
Fields.
I think it's Fields. I'm like, that's the wrong team out there, buddy.
Oh, he's moving them down the field. All right. So that's our picks. Let me make sure I save that before I close it out. Saved. We're good. All right.
So, Smitty, I have a question for you.
Yes.
With our 5-year bet, how are we going to gauge these two quarterbacks? They're so different. I've been looking at this. It's like, because, yeah, Fields has been putting up numbers, but they've been running numbers.
Yeah, okay, well, the way I look at this, first and foremost, whichever player, if only one player is still playing in the NFL, that person wins. If they're both playing in the NFL in 5 years, and one's a starter and one's not, the starter wins.
Okay.
If they're both starters, then we'll go to a vote to the committee here between Travis. We won't get votes because our votes will cancel each other out, probably. I mean, I'm probably honest, but I don't trust you. So, but we all get a vote on who we think the better quarterback is. Does that sound fair?
Okay. It's so hard because they're two.
It really
is. I was looking at this. I'm like, how could you even gauge these two? Because one of them's a runner, one of them's a passer.
For those that are listening right now, I made a bet with Jeremy for $1,000 in the 5 years that I said that Kevin Fields.
Nope.
Justin Fields.
Kevin Fields is my old boss. Will be a better quarterback than Mac Jones from Alabama that plays for the Pats.
Yeah.
He took me on the bet. And the very first year, it looked like I was going to get smoked. Now, not so much. So it's hard because he's right. You're right, Jeremy. Running compared to throwing.
They're so different. It's going to be.
we know that Fields a better runner, and we know that Mac's a better passer. So,
Oh, this year not so much.
Well, no, because Mac's still putting up a lot more numbers than Fields is.
all right, so we'll take a look at it. But I would say right now, if don't hold me to this, but it's a quarterback position. So win-loss records, and possibly I would go with yardage, percentage passing, like QBRs. That's what I would go. I don't think running is. I know you need it, but I wouldn't use that as a way to win.
That's where it's like I'm trying to figure. I'm like, how can you even really gauge these two against each other? They're
So my question
ends of the
is,
spectrum.
so I have a better question. Do we think Mac Jones is if Belichick sticks with this offensive coordinator plan of Pat Patricia, right?
Matt
Patricia, yeah.
Matt Patricia.
And
Pat Patricia.
yeah.
Pat Patricia.
And Joe Judge. Do we think in 5 years he's still going to be the Pats? Hell, do we think next year he'll still be with the Pats?
I think Belichick's stepping in to address the offense this week.
I think Belichick writes his own check, and I think what he did for this team, he'll have a leash as long as he wants it. I think if the Pats become perennial, thank you, losers, like they win 4 games and then 5 and then 3 and then if he does that for 5 years in a row, then I think they put him on a short leash. But until then,
well, I think Travis was talking about it. Will Mac still be starting if?
I thought you meant no.
Well, yeah. Well, Mac, if he finds out that next year's offensive coordinator is still going to be Patricia, will he be like, all right, so I need a trade? Trade me anywhere. I don't care. Just trade me somewhere. I'm not playing for.
But as long as he's still playing and starting, it doesn't matter. It's still
right.
I don't know. I don't think Mac is going to be in the NFL starting in 5 years anyway. That's my point of the bet. That was my point of the bet.
Well, at this rate, Justin Fields might not make it till year 3. The way he keeps getting hurt.
Yes,
that's true. He is a very weak, broken quarterback, isn't he?
Yeah.
But if they both are out of the NFL in 5 years, then
it's a wash.
It's a wash. Push.
We're pushing it. We'll find new QBs to do it with.
And if I happen to die before the 5 years,
I win by default.
No, I do. You take $1,000 and you put it in my coffin. Okay, I put it there for safekeeping.
But what if it's already 6 feet under?
No, you're coming to my funeral? What the fuck?
But what if it's not in 5 years? What if you die before that?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what he's saying.
If I die before that, you're gonna.
But if you end up winning, we gotta dig him up. And Smitty, you better have $1,000 in there with you too. So there'll be $2,000 buried with him. And if you win, Journey, you end up winning out. We'll have to just bury Smitty, dig up Smitty, and get.
If I die, I can't. I win automatically. The bet's over at that point.
No, you don't win if you die.
The bet stays on.
That's called copping out right there. I'm not going to win.
If I die before the 5 years, I'll put $1,000 in my coffin.
Good. We'll dig you up.
We'll take it out before you get buried. What are you talking
here's my question. If I die and I win, what happens to that $2,000? $1,000 from me, $1,000 from you. What am I going to do with that $2,000? You going to give it to my kids?
The daughter you like.
I like both my daughters. It's my sons I don't like. No, I'm joking. I love my son.
So we'll give it to the son you don't like.
I love my son. So.
The son you like the least.
Does that have to be mine? It's a good show, guys.
All right. I think that we have had a good time. So. Bye, guys. See you guys next week.